Hi everyone, my name is Tom Pham. I'm a demonstration teacher at Cajon High School, and I'd like to show you how to make group presentations possible with distance learning. So here, I already have a presentation that I've pre-made for my students. They're going to do a presentation on what is chemistry, and I want 5 students to work on this presentation together. And each student is going to be responsible for working on one slide each. So here's my presentation right here. It's called What is Chemistry? The first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that the sharing permissions are open to everyone. So here I'm going to click this little person right here with the plus sign. And I'm going to click right here where it says get a link, and I'm going to change it. And I want to make sure that it's for our district, but I want to change this to editor because I'm going to give every student permission to edit this slide. I'm going to hit done. Next, I'm going to make a copy of each of the presentations. So here, I'm going to go here to my 3 dots, move down to make a copy. And then I'm going to rename this copy for different breakout rooms. So I'm going to go back to these 3 dots. I'm going to hit rename. And I'm going to name this first copy Breakout Room 1. And click OK. I'm going to repeat the process for as many breakout rooms as I want. So I'm going to make another copy of my original. And then I'm going to rename it again by going to the 3 dots. And now I'm going to call this copy Breakout Room 2. And so on and so forth, depending on how many groups I want. So I've already pre-made 8 breakout rooms. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to create a new folder by going right here where it says New. And I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call it What is Chemistry Presentation. I'm going to drag all of my presentations that I've made into this folder. And here, all of my presentations are now in this folder. When I'm ready to post this assignment into my Google Classroom, I'm going to go to my Google Classroom, and I'm going to hit Create. And when I'm ready to post it, I want to make sure that I have explicit directions for the students. So they are going to work on a group presentation, but they're only responsible for working on the presentation that's designated for their breakout room. So I have the directions here for them. What I need to do now is I need to share this folder with the students. So I'm going to go back to my folder, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to click on the person with the plus sign here. And here, what I want to do is I want to get a link to enable me to share this folder with my students. So when I go to my Google Classroom to post the assignments, I'm going to hit Add. And this time I'm going to add a link. And the link is going to add my folder in my assignment right here. I've also included directions on what the students are supposed to do when we break up into our breakout rooms. And this right here, this presentation is my actual presentation that I will give to my students. So once I'm ready to go, I'm going to hit Assign. And now here's my assignment right here. What is chemistry? When my students click it, they're going to see that they have access to my folder with all of the presentations as well as my directions. So the directions will look like this. I'm going to start with my learning intentions to let them know what we're doing. And the idea is that the students are going to be working in breakout rooms. I do my presentations on Zoom, so I can easily put them into breakout rooms. I can assign the students into specific rooms, or I can do it randomly. So they're going to be working in the breakout rooms with their partners. I'm going to assign each person a breakout room. And then I want to be very explicit when I tell them what they're going to do next. When they are ready to go, they're going to see an icon that says that they have been assigned to a certain breakout room. They're going to join that breakout room. So here, for example, they're going to join breakout room number 1. If they join breakout room number 1, they must work on the slide that says breakout room number 1. When you give your students access to this folder, they will have access to every presentation. You want to make sure that they only work on the presentation that their breakout room is designated for. And then I tell them that as soon as they open up that document, they have to put down their period as well as their breakout room number. And then they have to put down the names of each student that's working on the slide. And I tell them that they will work on one slide each. And for whichever slide they work on, that's the name that they are going to put down. So if they are working on slide number 1, then that means that they will put their name where number 1 is, slide number 2, and so on and so forth. To ensure that the students are engaged and motivated to work on this project, I always make sure that I have a timer ready to go. And so once all the directions are given, I give my students 12 minutes to work on this presentation in their breakout rooms together. And then when they're ready to submit the assignment, I tell them that I'm the actual owner of the presentation. So what they actually have to do is they have to go to File and make a copy for themselves in their Google Drive. Once they've made the copy, then they can submit this assignment into Google Classroom. So that's how I make sure that my students have the ability to work together on a group presentation with distance learning.